Here's a clip from our podcast, the Club Ambition Podcast, a.k.a. CAP.
They gon' love me for my ambition.
That says a lot. So shout out to Ryan Reynolds for making this movie consistently, and Hugh Jackman, incredible. But staying in the world of Marvel, right? We have Robert Downey Jr. I'm a Marvel nerd, so I was screaming at my phone. I was like, ah! When I saw this news, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was bullshit. Because they had the Comic-Con this weekend, and it was like a thing like Hall H, Saturday night, something's gonna happen, or Saturday day, all right? People were like, oh, Hall H. And they had like literally drones, bro. They had drones in the sky announcing things. They had announced Saturday at Comic-Con, they hired drones to go in the sky, and like these robots announcing that something's coming, and they had Fantastic Four, and they had the villain in Fantastic Four, the guy that controls the galaxies, I forgot his name. Magnolia, I forgot. Guys in the comments, let me know. And then we have Saturday comes, Hall H, Doctor Doom. They announced the Doctor Doom Avengers movie, but it was like, oh, it was kind of like a known thing, obviously, but confirmed it. And it's like, who's the villain? Who's going to play Doctor Doom? They revealed it. And it's like, hey, this is a big role. We had to get a big actor. Fucking Robert Downey Jr. RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. is back.
Which people were saying that them announcing that confirmed that the movie that they were working on is canceled with that guy that had the allegations.
It has to be. Kang Dynasty. And we're going to talk about that, Jonathan Majors. But to put it in perspective, how much was Robert Downey Jr. paid for Iron Man?
Isn't he the most paid actor when it comes to those movies?
Robert Downey Jr. was known as the highest paid actor in Marvel because he was getting paid the highest salary in Marvel for his role as Iron Man, right? He really was Tony Stark in real life because he was getting paid like Tony Stark in real life. And let me find the highest paid. Yeah, so it went from, I have the rows here. This breaks it down perfectly. Okay, so it went from, we're keeping an order of other movies, how he started, to show you his upgrade in his salary, right? So Iron Man 1 had $2 million salary. Then we had Iron Man 2, right? That jumped up to $10 million. Then we have the Avengers movie that went to $50 million, right? Then we have Iron Man 3 that stayed again at $50 million. Then we have again Avengers Age of Ultron that was in between $50 to $80 million, still not confirmed, right? Then we have, let me just scroll to the bottom, because I think you guys can guess what's going on here, the direction that this is heading, all right? Age of Ultron. Then we have Captain America, Civil War, $64 million. $64 million. Then we have Spider-Man Homecoming with a cameo. Just for his cameo, they're saying it's $10 to $15 million. Avengers Infinity War, $75 million. Avengers Endgame, $75 million. Right? Insane. And to put it in perspective, he was paid to act in Oppenheimer only $4 million. $4 million. Bruce Willis was paid $100 million in The Sixth Sense. Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick was paid $100 million. Will Smith in Men in Black 3 was paid $100 million. Chris Evans in Endgame as Captain America was paid $15 to $20 million. And Keanu Reeves was paid in Matrix Reloaded / Revolutions $156 million. What the fuck? AKA, we're hobos, homeless compared to these people. Insane, right? So for this moral, Doctor Doom. Multiverse, anything is possible in a multiverse. There's a multiverse, there's a comic book moment in the multiverse where there is a Iron Man that's actually a Doctor Doom Iron Man, or he becomes Doctor Doom because of the robot, the actual suit. I think that's what's obviously going to happen with this movie. Iron Man's still going to exist, but he's going to become the multiverse version, which is Doctor Doom.
Because supposedly he died, right?
because he died. The Iron Man's dead. There was a funeral and everything for Iron Man. They had the funeral for Iron Man.
Supposedly he wasn't dead.
They killed him off, but that's why he's not dead because no one really dies in Marvel because everyone there's multiverse. You can be alive as a squirrel. Oh my God, he's a squirrel. Spider-Man. Spider-Man didn't die. He's a squirrel. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of this whole shit. It's crazy. They're making so much money off this. It's insane. So if they're paying him to be Iron Man and Doctor Doom after they killed him off, how much is he gonna make now? Has to be like $100 million, because he didn't want to do it no more. For him to come back, it had to be a number that he couldn't turn down. It had to be something crazy, nigga, like $100 million, maybe $150 million for 2 Avenger movies. This is insane. Insane. I don't know what the fuck Robert Downey Jr. is doing with his money, but I know what you can do. Send some money over here. Send some millions over here. We'll figure it out, Robert. But people are also making this a controversy, kind of rightfully so, because when you look up the history, right? But it depends. I think the timing plays a big factor in this. But let's get the people's opinion. Leave a comment down below. When it comes to Robert Downey Jr., in 1996, he was arrested for possession of heroin and cocaine and an unloaded gun, right? He was given 3 years probation and required to undergo mandatory drug testing. A year later, Downey skipped the drug test and spent nearly 4 months in jail, right? This was when he was younger, right? So compared to the age of 34, this was when he's 34 years old. Net worth basically $0. Then fast forward in 2020, by the age of 55, he had a net worth of $300 million because of all the Avengers movies. So he went from cocaine user, arrested in jail, crazy life, right? Even though he was a good actor, even young, he was a good actor. He was a good young actor. He was known. He had a dope face. They found him handsome. You know, had good roles, decent roles. Fast forward now, making a crazy amount of money. Is it hypocritical of them to get him to play Doctor Doom and do this Avengers movie with Robert Downey Jr.? Because that would mean that they're canceling Kang Dynasty, the Kang Dynasty Avengers movie. It was going to be called, I think, just Avengers 5. They switched the name and everything, but now they're switching the name again, right? Jonathan Majors, again, for those who don't remember, last year was found guilty of 1 count of assault in the 3rd degree and 1 count of harassment in the 2nd degree. But then this was because of the jury. They found him guilty on 1 count, but he was not found guilty in the 2 other charges, which 1 count of assault, etc. This was against his wife. If you don't know, you know. So for them to cancel the Kang character and the Jonathan Majors role, but to give it to Robert Downey Jr. isn't hypocritical of them. I think that is really not in a sense of the timing. Robert Downey Jr. was not working with Marvel at the time. They weren't his employer. That was before they got to him. Now, before he got to them, now we have Jonathan Majors during the job of Kang the Conqueror, his biggest job of his career, biggest role of his career, life-changing. Bound to become maybe the greatest villain in Marvel history. Like, you never know. They could have done so much with Kang. We've seen it in Loki. It's insane. They had to scrap it now because of this controversy. And in reality, I think it was overdone. They didn't need to scrap it. They could have kept him. Now, there's rumors that he's still going to be acting. He's getting offered roles. Are they not hypocritical? Maybe they bring him back somehow. They make it make sense. Instead of making a movie around him, they make the movie around Doctor Doom, but then get Kang the Conqueror in there somehow. You never know. But I get how people feel like, oh, it's hypocritical. I don't think it's hypocritical. I think it's just fucked up, but not hypocritical. Because hypocritical would mean that it would have to be the same type of situations. I think it's completely different situations, but it's fucked up, the Jonathan Majors situation. But Disney doesn't play any fucking games. You have to behave. If people are paying me millions of dollars, I'm going to fucking behave. You have a girlfriend that's crazy, get some couples therapy, cut her off, run away, but not in public. Run away at home. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that in the middle of the New York streets where there's cameras. People are still going to have their opinions about that situation. Especially because you were found guilty and you're walking around with Megan Good like everything's good. Meanwhile, Megan Good's hugging motherfuckers like Michael Ealy. Like, that's not even, you know what I'm saying? That might not even be a girl, bro.
They gon' love me for my ambition. bitch.
And that was a clip from our podcast, the Club Ambition podcast. Cap, if you're looking to watch the full episode, make sure to go check it out right now. It's available on audio and also on YouTube.